What's up, Chuds? We're back for another banger. Another incoherent. I don't believe in edits. Incoherent rant from yours truly. And this is kind of just boiling down to something that it's like a very unique thing here in America, except there's some like based European countries. I've kind of been coming to the conclusion recently. This is obviously thanks to some other influencers, but I've been coming to the conclusion recently. It's not only our right as Americans to own, use, and educate ourselves with firearms. I'm starting to see this as kind of like a duty, man. For one, the world's a crazy place. I'm pretty sure the quote is, God made all men, and then Samuel Colt made them all equal, right? So, on that topic, I would argue that of all amendments that we have, the Second Amendment is by far the most important. And thanks to the second one, I'm able to post videos. I'm able to have conversations with my friends about topics that the folks reviewing this video probably really don't like. And it's a beautiful thing, not only from our country's independence, but to modern day. And as technology has evolved, it's stayed linked in with our culture, almost to the point of insult from cuck-ass European bitches. Yeah, said it. There's like two guys from Wales that are cool. That's about it. But no, in all seriousness, it is extremely important in this country. And this isn't even like a call to like, oh, only this group of people, only this group of people. I don't give a shit who you are. If you're not able to look the man in the face and defend your beliefs with an equal, not the man, we'll say an adversary. If you're not able to look an adversary in the face and defend your sovereignty and your freedom and your ideas with equal lethality and equipment and education that they are able to, you're cooked. You're done for. And I'm not like some Civil War guy. I believe that's kind of overstated, over wished for, to be honest. I don't think people really understand the consequences of what something like that would be. So, besides for that incoherent rambling once again, Courtmeister, where do we go to educate ourselves? What do we do? Well, for one, I mean, you probably can't see his face back there, and I hope that doesn't get me copyright struck. Learning how they work is one of the most important things ever. If you don't know how a firearm operates, like for example, if I were to just hand you this AR pistol, whoosh, right? If you are not able to look at that thing and tell me where the bolt release is, the charging handle, mag release, what a trigger does, how it operates, and that might be autism, knowing what every tube on every gun does. But I learned it all from YouTube. Is basically what I'm getting at here, is that we have the greatest resource of information ever whenever it comes to firearms. That's YouTube. Not to mention, I cannot name a city in my state that I've been to that does not offer some kind of firearms training at a range, some kind of club, anything. There's literally never been a better time to enhance your ability to exercise your Second Amendment right. And I don't see any negative to it. Some great resources I recommend for tactical-esque knowledge. Got to throw you towards my boy Jimmy Talks. Real Patriots dropping '07 in the chat. Jimmy Talks, he's a great, he does more just societal breakdown content. But he also does a lot of modern Minuteman-esque, situations. Besides for him, there is, and I've seen a lot of communists in the comment section, but information's information. Black Flag Civilian, if you're a Midwestern fella. I don't know where that guy's from, but from what I have seen, he has pretty good breakdowns on radio equipment, clothing, outdoors equipment. And then more just specifically gun knowledge, check out Administrative Results. Shout out to the GOAT. Shout out Admin. He's a great resource for actually seeing how they're operated. He puts a big emphasis on displaying the ergonomics of everything. I feel like the actual physical hold. And then Forgotten Weapons. The man. He literally will open up everything you can think of and show it to you. And then beyond that, there's no better resource of education than experience. That is the greatest teacher that has ever existed. You cannot be anybody without experiencing it. That kind of brings me on to my next topic, affordable ways. Oh my God, Cortland, it's the big 2.6. I just put $50 in my gas tank and it didn't even fill up halfway. Prevent me from buying this thing and using it on myself. All jokes. But I totally get it. And like this thing right here, this is where the algorithm is going to boost because everybody wants to shit on the brand. But this is a Palmetto State AR pistol. I accidentally was not paying attention, ordered 300 Blackout, so I'm hanging out the ass for ammo. But I mean, this bad boy, this whole setup right here, reliable red dot, comfortable brace, comfortable, I guess. Don't worry, they're all completely unloaded. I think in total, maybe this costed me $380, and that was just with patience waiting on sales. And again, that's including red dot. That's about all it came with. Well, in the sights, but that's including red dot backup irons. And obviously, this is still missing to the Essentials Light sling. But for real, don't listen to what people on the internet have to say when it comes to what brand you're buying, because it's just like the classic saying of half the reason people carry. I would rather have a gun than not have a gun. Bottom line, right? So if you're going to let some guy on the internet be like, oh, you didn't spend $1,800 on your first rifle? Guy who's never shot a gun? You're going to fucking die. No, that's not how it works at all. And this isn't even my first rifle, just to clarify. Really want to clarify this. This is probably 6 ARs deep. This is the first one I've kind of actually spent some more time just sticking to. Restless Rifle Syndrome's a bitch. But Palmetto State, for beginner AR, can't go wrong. A little higher bump up in quality. Internet's kind of divided on this. Check out the Smith & Wesson M&P Sport Series. Great rifles. That was actually the first AR I ever owned. Just good old 16-inch carbine. Can never take you wrong. And honestly, I recommend a 16-inch for basically everybody. As cool as that thing is, I mean, one, it's in 300 Blackout. Expensive! 2, I live surrounded by cornfields, so like I'm not really concerned with clearing the threshold. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so just find something that works. Never go lower than Palmetto. I will be honest, Palmetto is the bottom of acceptable brands. You'll find this amazing place. I gotta stop saying Oh my God, I'm a grown man. But there's this horrible place on the internet known as Bear Creek Arsenal. And if you want a reason to give up on the United States, you need to shoot a Bear Creek Arsenal AR. So, besides for that, again, don't worry about nice-ass ammo either. A bullet's a bullet. This is kind of more leaning towards balling on a budget kind of situation. And don't get me wrong, there is a way to truly ball on a budget. There is. I'm more talking in the sense of you literally have no experience. You need experience. That's the sense I'm coming from mostly with this video. To give my background, I probably should have started with this. To give my background, grew up in a hunting family. Like I said, Midwestern, good old boys. We shot skeet, shot some 22s. Only guy I know that had a gun was like a pistol that I remember was my pawpaw, and he kept it in a safe. What can you do about it? You know. So that's my experience. I just recently started taking training at a local shooting center here. That's more focusing on pistol stuff right now, though, because, well, I'm not carrying my AR-15 at the mall. Am I? So, this is beginner to beginner, realistically. As much as I want to say I'm like an amazing rifleman, an amazing advocate, whatever you want to call it, I'm not. What can you do about it? And, yeah. So once you get your hands on it, there's a lot of fog when it comes to operating your AR, how you should. How I look at it, the best way to operate it is in a way which it operates. You know, especially without training, you're kind of just going to look stupid no matter what. But if you're just out at a flat range, out in the woods, having fun, by all means, king, do your thing. I would much rather somebody who at least knows how to have a lot of fun, which means they know how to shoot a lot, as opposed to somebody who's never touched one because they can't go afford Thunder Ranch. Not shitting on Thunder Ranch. I'm going to go there. That place is awesome. But you get what I'm saying. Walk around with it. Take it on hikes. Get used to holding it. Walk around your house with it. Get used to feeling it. Because it is kind of a weird thing whenever you first actually get into guns and like you hold that. And you're like, whoa. Whoa. It's actually not weird at all. It's totally awesome. It's basically exactly what I would call peak life, is walking around in your underwear with an AR-15. But yeah, no, I really got nothing much else to say. I don't want to break down the philosophy too much of why I believe you as an American should be actively arming and learning to defend yourself. But I will say, ask yourself one question, and this even comes down to buy a handgun. It doesn't have to be an AR. I always just recommend an AR for everybody's first gun, because that is what all the police departments use. That is what the military uses. That's America's rifle, is the AR-15. I'm pretty sure AR stands for America. But yeah, get used to using it. Get used to holding it, feeling it. It's a crazy world, and I'm not a fearmonger. I'm a happy Christian, proud Christian, and as a Christian, I'm vehemently anti-war, anti-violence, and I'm not advocating for some doomsday scenario where civil war breaks out and we all go bananas. I would hate that. That would suck, and nobody wants that. But realistic part of life, there's crazy people out there. There are insane people out there. I just saw a clip last night from the news. Well, that'll get this age restricted. But no, it is a crazy world. And there's a bit of a sense of stability and security that you can bring to yourself, your family, and those things that you care about if you're able to defend them. No matter how big or small you are, a 223 is a 223. Peace out, Chuds. Get training, get armed, be an American, be the American you know you can be. God bless.